All right, viewers, we have a big breaking news coming in at the moment. This looks like there is another day of protest by the INDIA bloc. Opposition bloc is now holding protest once again at the Makar Dwar. This is related to the S.I.R exercise. Remember, in the last 2 days, we have been seeing protests by the India bloc outside of the Parliament, and today, once again, we are seeing opposition leaders in a very similar fashion holding protests at the Makar Dwar. It is 10:30 a.m. and 10:30 was the time, the call for the protest, which was given by opposition. And right now, that protest has begun already. You can see the visuals coming in also from the Parliament. Sabyasachi joining us live. Sabyasachi, give us more details on the same. The protest happening outside the Parliament at the Makar Dwar. Once again, I believe we are going to see a day of showdown and storm and obviously disruption when it comes to the Parliament.
Well, that's right. Once again, the India bloc is carrying out a protest in front of Makar Dwar inside the Parliament. Now, the opposition would continue to raise their voice, and the opposition have been demanding that there should be a discussion on the special intensive revision of voter list that is happening in the state of Bihar. Now, the opposition says that adjournment motion after adjournment motion has been given by several political leaders who belong to different political parties of the India bloc, yet no discussion has been taking inside the Parliament. Now the opposition also alleges that the leader of opposition, Rahul Gandhi, is not allowed to speak inside the House, and they also continuously have been demanding that Rahul Gandhi and other floor leaders of the opposition parties should be allowed to speak inside the House and put across their point. Now the opposition says that this is not Man Ki Baat, where leaders like Kiran Rijiju, Arjun Meghwal or other senior leaders from the NDA would come out and put out their point, but it is a platform where the opposition also should be allowed to raise their concerns and raise their point. And that is the reason why we are seeing that continuous disruption is happening in both the houses in Lok Sabha as well as in Rajya Sabha, and the India bloc is very much sure about the fact that they are going to continue protest every single day outside the Makar Dwar until and unless the discussion takes place inside the Parliament as far as the special intensive revision of voter list is concerned.
And we are seeing protests also happening at the Makar Dwar, obviously, as we can see the visuals also which are coming in. Why don't you stay with us, Sabyasachi, because we have reactions of the opposition leaders also coming in. Let's listen in, viewers.
एक बड़ा मुद्दा S.I.R का आप लोग प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं और तेजस्वी यादव का बयान आता है, वो कहते हैं कि बायकॉट करने चाहिए पोल्स। आपको लगता है डेमोक्रेसी में पोल बायकॉट की जो कॉल है तेजस्वी यादव की, क्योंकि बहुत सारे कांग्रेस के नेता इस व्यू को एक्सेप्ट करते नजर आ रहे हैं?
नहीं तो डेमोक्रेसी तो बचेगी तब ना, अगर वोट का अधिकार ही नहीं छोड़ेंगे तो डेमोक्रेसी कहाँ है? आप तो डेमोक्रेसी को कुचल रहे हैं, अब तो लोकतंत्र की हत्या कर रहे हैं। तो हम लोग उसी के लिए तो लड़ रहे हैं कि डेमोक्रेसी बचे, हर कीमत पर डेमोक्रेसी बचनी चाहिए।
पर पार्लियामेंट में जो चल नहीं पा रही है पार्लियामेंट, सरकार बीएससी में जब बैठती है तो विपक्ष से भी पूछती है क्या मुद्दे हैं। तो ये बोला गया सरकार की तरफ से भी कि S.I.R का मुद्दा भी आएगा ऑपरेशन सिंदूर के डिबेट के बाद।
तो आप टाइम तय कर दीजिए ना, हम कब मना कर रहे हैं? आप टाइम तय कर दीजिए बीएससी के अंदर, क्या उस टाइम ये तय हो जाएगा? हम तैयार हैं।
सर, डीएमके जो है वो योगी सरकार पर आक्रामक है। उन्होंने कहा जो एनकाउंटर हुए हैं पिछले कुछ सालों में, उसमें से जो ज्यादातर 30% से ज्यादा लोग हैं जो मरे हैं एनकाउंटर में वो मुस्लिम है, 40% से ज्यादा जो घायल हुए वो मुस्लिम है।
हाँ, बात सही है उनकी, तो ऐसा तो है ना, वो तो आंकड़ों पर ही बोल रहे हैं ये बात।
तो आपको लगता है कि ऐसा कुछ है, क्योंकि जबकि योगी सरकार कहती है कि जो एनकाउंटर होते हैं।
All right, my colleague Sabyasachi is live with us. Sabyasachi, we are hearing obviously the reactions of the opposition leaders coming in. Opposition obviously making multiple points, but it looks like that the S.I.R exercise, which is underway in Bihar, that's going to have an impact in the Parliament as well. Another day of showdown as expected, isn't it?
Well, that's right. See, another day of showdown is expected inside the Parliament, whereas if you speak about the special intensive revision of voter list, what the opposition sources say that the government has not given a particular date to the opposition, that on this particular date the discussion will take place on the S.I.R. Now, that is the very reason why the opposition has been giving adjournment motion after adjournment motion, and they want immediate discussion on this regard. Now the opposition says that in the state of Bihar itself, around 52 lakh people have been denied the right to cast their vote. Now this will not only be limited to the state of Bihar. In fact, in the coming days, it will also be conducted in the state of Bengal and in other states, and it would give advantage to the Bharatiya Janata Party, and that is the reason why the opposition want that there should be free and fair polls in the country. And meanwhile, the opposition also has been attacking the ECI, stating that the ECI is sponsored and protected by the Bharatiya Janata Party, and it is working under the guidance of the BJP. And to have a discussion on this, and that is the reason why they are protesting. In
You're
fact,
rightly telling us, there is a protest which is happening currently. Sabya, stay with us because Mohit, our colleague, has filed a report from the Makar Dwar, which is the protest site where INDIA Bloc is, staging a dharna, a protest of sort at the moment. Let's take a look.
The opposition parties are continuing with their protest at the Makar Dwar against the S.I.R, and you can see that how the senior leaders of the opposition parties are standing there holding placard which clearly says that S.I.R is attack on democracy. S.I.R means stealing Indian rights. We have seen that how from past 3 days the opposition parties are protesting at Makar Dwar. They basically say that there has to be an immediate discussion on the issue of S.I.R in the parliament, and we have seen that how the matter is in Supreme Court. The hearing on S.I.R is going on, but what we see is that from Sarak to Sansad, the opposition parties are waking up this issue in a big manner. The opposition parties say that unless and until the discussion of S.I.R does not take place inside the parliament, they will not allow parliament to function, and perhaps that is why it's a well thought out strategy of the opposition parties that they are protesting at 10:30 and at 11 the house get convened. But what we see is that from past many days, as soon as the proceedings of the house start, the opposition raises slogans and the house gets adjourned. But what we see is that the opposition parties are protesting, and they say that unless and until a discussion on S.I.R does not take place in the parliament, they will continue with their protest. Mohit reporting from Parliament House for Times Now.
So, so protest obviously underway at the moment. As you can see, viewers, opposition holding a protest at the Makar Dwar there in Parliament. Obviously, there's a deja vu literally to this breaking news because last 3 days we have been seeing similar scenes, similar protests before the Parliament begins. And as the session begins, we see din and disruption in both houses of the Parliament. Will we see something similar today? Will there be at least some sort of debate, discussion, or we will see another day literally getting washed off in this monsoon session? We'll have to wait and watch. But what you see on your screens, viewers, these two visuals, I'd like to describe them for our viewers. On the left-hand side is the protest which is happening outside the Bihar Assembly, and on the other is the showdown outside the Parliament. So from the Parliament to the State Assembly, there is obviously a showdown which is brewing when it comes to the S.I.R exercise. Two sets of protests happening on the same. One is happening outside the Bihar Assembly, another outside the Parliament. In the midst of all of this, when there is being hints, which have been a bombshell hint rather dropped by Tejasvi Yadav, that they could even think of a possible poll boycott. The EC has given a big message. They had said that the S.I.R exercise is only to weed out fake voters. They had earlier also given a very detailed explanation as to whose names had been, removed and as to why that particular exercise was being taken. A meticulous and thoughtful exercise, as EC says. But opposition is unrelenting. Priyanka Gandhi has also spoken out. Listen in.
And there's no democratic discussion taking place. And whenever we want to speak, whenever the opposition leaders want to speak, they're not allowed to speak. We've been asking for discussions. They should do.
But the government says it's opposition that is not allowing the House to function.
The government always says that. In the last session, I was surprised because I'm a new MP. I was surprised to see that the disruption was starting from the treasury benches. I was surprised. They would pick a topic so that we react to the topic, and then there's a hangama and the house gets adjourned.
This time
and so I think it's suiting them just fine.
And we have obviously those visuals, viewers. What we'd like to highlight is the presence of Sonia and Priyanka Gandhi at the protest site. So you have Sonia Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi who have joined the protest by the opposition against the S.I.R. And look at those visuals, viewers. You'll able to see Sonia, Priyanka there who have joined that protest. We'll be bringing those visuals on, again for our viewers there. Those visuals are. So this is a massive protest by the opposition. Remember, in the last 2 to 3 days, we have seen opposition staging protests. When it comes to the S.I.R. exercise, there have been total disruption, hangama, everything except for debate in the parliament. Looks like, unfortunately, that we are headed in the same direction today as well. There you can see a close-up of Priyanka Gandhi, who'd spoken out to the media as well. Allegation from the opposition, Sabyasachi, since you're still live with us, is that they're not given a chance to speak. Far as the government is concerned, they say that the opposition is not allowing the House to function. Yesterday also, we saw multiple appeals by the Speaker. Take us through what's the government strategy going ahead? What's the government's game plan to manage the House, the lower and the upper house of the Parliament today?
Well, see, as far as the central government is concerned, their strategy is very much clear. See, they have been appealing to the opposition leaders time and again that for any kind of discussion that the opposition want, they should first allow the House to function. And since the beginning of the monsoon session, we have seen that whether it is in Lok Sabha, whether it is in Rajya Sabha, whether the Speaker of Lok Sabha or the Chairman of Rajya Sabha, all have been requesting the members that first of all they should allow the question hour, and only after that they can have a proper discussion on the agendas that the opposition want. Now we had seen that in the Business Advisory Committee meeting, which has been called in by the Speaker and the Chairman, there has been no consensus reached as far as the agenda is concerned. Now the opposition has listed out 8 agendas which they want that the central government should come out and give a response and have a debate on these agendas. But the central government is of the view that if you let the House function, there are important bills that needs to be discussed in the House, and we are going to designate a particular day for the opposition parties, and every single leader will be allowed to speak as far as Pahalgam terror attack is concerned or a special intensive revision of voter list is concerned. But the opposition is continuously protesting. The opposition says that what about the adjournment motions that they have been giving every single day? There has been no response, and the opposition says that this could be a tactics from the central government to divert the attention, because the central government does not want to have a discussion on the Pahalgam and on the S.I.R. So clearly both the opposition and the centre is at loggerhead with each other, whereas from the central government side it is very much clear that they want the House to function. They want that discussion should take place on the 17 bills that are slated to have a discussion in this monsoon session, and they have been requesting, whether it is Parliamentary Affairs Minister Mr. Kiran Rijiju or Law Minister Arjun Singh Meghwal, all of them have been requesting the opposition parties to allow the House function, and only if they not disrupt and create disruptions inside the House, then only it will be possible to have a discussion on their agendas as well.
Well, absolutely, and that is the demand from the opposition. Opposition obviously saying that they want a discussion, when it comes to the S.I.R. exercise. Government though saying that they have allocated time for every debate. In fact, when it even comes to Opsindur, the government has allocated time over 20 hours, which have been set aside. So the government basically saying that it's the opposition which is not letting the House function. On the other hand, obviously there's a very different and a separate raga by the opposition. Also, Sabyasachi, take us through the visuals. It's significant, isn't it, that today you have the top leaders of the Congress party, the Gandhi Parivar, itself, which has joined the protest, the opposition protest outside the parliament. Sonia and Priyanka both present there.
Well, that's right. See, the Congress is spearheading the S.I.R. protest, and this would be the 4th day that the India Bloc is protesting in front of the Makar Dwar, and Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi, and along with other senior leaders from the Congress party as well as other opposition parties, are present and carrying out this protest. Now, continuously the opposition stating that they are not allowing the leader of opposition, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, to speak inside the House. And the opposition has been stating that whether it is the floor leaders of different opposition parties or the leader of opposition, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, they have not been given time to speak, and whenever they want to speak or put out across their point, they have been cut off abruptly. So this allegation is continuously coming in from the Congress party, whereas the Congress says regarding the S.I.R. and also with Tejasvi Yadav stating that he is going to discuss about boycotting the Bihar polls with the opposition parties. Now the Congress says that the entire India bloc, the combination of 24 political parties, is being spearheaded by Rahul Gandhi and Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge, and every alternative day there is a meeting inside the parliament of all the floor leaders that has been called in by the Congress party, and the discussion is taking place, and whatever would be decided will be decided on the basis of the collective of the India bloc. They would decide together. So on the matter of S.I.R, as of now the India bloc is together, and that is the reason we are seeing that whether it is leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi or
but
other
the EC has given a detailed explanation, Sabyasachi, isn't it? Today also EC gave a big message amidst, reports that there could be a possible boycott. Tejas Yadav obviously only adding fuel to the fire, saying that they could, think in that direction. And amidst all the explanations, the fact checks which are coming by the EC, why is the opposition still unrelenting? See, the explanation, as you rightly pointed out, the ECI has given a very strong explanation. See, the ECI stated that they are acting on the fake voter IDs or the dead voters or foreign voters, and the opposition have nothing to fear because the constitution is the mother of democracy, and the EC is working as per the rules and process. But the opposition is not buying it because the opposition says that this particular process would give advantage to the Bharatiya Janata Party, as by doing the S.I.R in the Bihar, they are eliminating the minority votes as well as the poor votes in the state of Bihar, and the similar practice would be carried out in other states as well. Now the opposition openly states that around 52 lakh people... And you're right, the EC has given a detailed explanation, Sabyasachi, but the opposition unrelenting. Earlier also, this is yesterday, Rahul Gandhi had hurled a big allegation against the EC. He was reiterating the vote chori charge on the EC. Listen into what Rahul Gandhi had to say.
महाराष्ट्र में इन्होंने चीटिंग की. हमने सवाल पूछे इलेक्शन कमीशन से, वोटर लिस्ट दिखाइए. इन्होंने वोटर लिस्ट नहीं दिखाई. हमने कहा कि वीडियोग्राफी दिखा दीजिए. वीडियोग्राफी का कानून बदल दिया. 1 करोड़ नए वोटर्स आए थे महाराष्ट्र में और इलेक्शन चोरी किया. हिंदुस्तान में इलेक्शन चोरी किए जा रहे हैं, ये रियलिटी है हिंदुस्तान की. कर्नाटक में हमने भयंकर चोरी पकड़ी है. मैं ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट में आपको दिखाऊंगा, इलेक्शन कमीशन को दिखाऊंगा, ठीक है, ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट में कि कैसे चोरी की जाती है, कहां की जाती है. कर्नाटक में ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट में है हमारे हाथ में, ठीक है, ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट.
And we also have a reaction of Tejasvi Yadav. Listen in, viewers.
पक्ष एक तरीके से इस पर भी आपस में बातचीत कर सकता है कि चुनाव का आप लोग बाइकआउट कर दें कि भाई अपने खुद से लड़ो और जो करना है.
नहीं, हो सकता है, इस बात पे भी चर्चा हो सकती है. वो हम लोग देखेंगे कि जनता क्या चाहती है और सब लोगों का क्या राय है. अगर ऐसा करना पड़े, जब आप बेईमानी से सब कुछ आप तैयार कर रखे कि उसको इतना सीट देना, उसको इतना सीट देना है, तो चुनाव ही मत कराओ. तो इस पे देखा जाएगा क्या करना.
Okay, that's Tejasvi Yadav. When asked a direct and pointed question whether they'll be boycotting or at least thinking of a poll boycott, he says that also could be discussed. More reactions coming in of opposition leaders.
जो लोग बिहार के लोगों को दिल्ली में उजाड़ रहे हैं, उनको बिहार के लोग चुनाव में बिहार से भगाने का काम करेंगे, जो दिल्ली से बिहारियों को भगाने का काम कर रहे हैं. तो आज का प्रोटेस्ट इस उद्देश्य से हम लोगों का था.
तो संजय भाई, जो दिल्ली सरकार के लोगों से जब पूछा जाता है तो उनका ये कहना है कि इनको प्रॉपर नोटिस दिया गया है.
सब झूठ बोल रहे हैं. और मोदी जी ने कार्ड बांटा था पहले, जहां झुग्गी वहां मकान के. बीजेपी के नेता रात भर जाके रुके थे झुग्गियों में. उन्होंने झुग्गी वालों का नमक खाया और नमक खाने के बाद उन्हीं का दुकान, उन्हीं का मकान बुलडोजर.
All right, so those are the reactions coming in of the opposition leaders. A massive protest outside the parliament at the Makar Dwar. We'll have to wait and watch what happens when the house resumes. Will we see another day of din and disruption, or will there be some debate today? We will keep a close eye on all the developments coming in from the parliament as of now. Slipping into a short commercial break.